What's up, guys? Welcome to NMD TV. K's all day. If you're rocking with UD, you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. Big shout out to the Kane Gang, the members of the channel. Make sure you guys check the section because I just put a new video out. Make sure you check that out. And if you want to become a member of the Kane Gang, click that link in the pinned comments. But today is Monday, which means we listen to Mario Cristobal talk about the past game on the Joe Rose show. And I think today is going to be an interesting one because there's a lot of topics: the defense, the offense, the injury situation with Jadis Richards. I think there could be a lot of tidbits in here. Let's take a listen and let's find out. And by the way, if you want to listen to just the interview without me interrupting, without me talking through it, then make sure you click the link in the description. I will have that for you. Let's take a listen to this interview.
On the season, Mario Cristobal joins us this morning. Coach, congratulations on another one, man. Another win.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning. How are you, man?
And I'm doing great. I got so much to a crazy, wild game. So you jump out 14-0. They come back, and everybody, oh, no, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, something once again happens in that third quarter after you're down 28-17. And then you guys go on a 36-3 run to end the game. Coach, you got, because this has happened a few times, so we know people can't go, well, they can't live like this. Well, they're living like this and pounding people pretty good. What is the mindset of this thing? Because defensively, I could sit and just talk about all the touchdowns, but defensively, you force them into 3 turnovers and you get 3 stops and make them punt. So 6 of their second half, all they did was kick a field goal. What happens to this team?
I think he's definitely going to bring up the 1-0 mentality. I mean, you see the title of the interview, but something that Mario said after the game made a lot of sense about, we got the new headset technology. We got the new iPad technology. So now it's easier for teams to make adjustments on the fly. So just because you're up 14-0 does not mean it's going to be smooth sailings. Teams make adjustments. We have to make adjustments. And let's give Miami credit. Let's give our defensive staff credit. Let's give the defense some credit because adjustments were made in the second half to where we played way better than we did in the first half. Not excusing how the first half has, but I do think those are the context that you have to look at, the details that you do have to look at.
Well, I mean, I think, our guys are always about just doing their job and just keep playing. Eventually the game will turn our way. And I think we had some really good adjustments on both sides of the ball. And I think special teams, I think we had 140 yards of hidden yardage. I mean, every change of possession was like a +10 for us. So there were.
Shout out to Dylan Joyce. I don't think I give him enough credit. I don't think I shout him out enough. Shout out to the punter, Dylan Joyce.
There's a lot of things, like our guys snuffed out their fakes. They had to check out of it. We had a lot of really, really high-level adjustments that helped us punch through. And, when we had our struggles and they were popping us with some big plays and whatnot, we mixed up some of our fronts or stunts or coverages, and all of a sudden we forced some legitimate 3-and-outs, 4-and-outs, and it changed the game.
Yeah.
So they tried a fake punt, and our team saw it, so they had to check out of it. I was waiting for some type of fake. I was like, I know this is where they're going to do it, but they didn't do it because our team checked. That's something that I didn't notice. I didn't see the check. So shout out to our teams for being prepared and for doing that. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot. Let's continue.
Boy, did it. And just wild, the amount of points that you guys are scoring in the fourth quarter. I have this theory. So listen to this one. This is what happens when you're in the morning and you have all this time on your hands. So my theory is that other teams know how quickly and how fast you guys can score. I think it screws up everybody else out of their game plans offensively to start forcing things and doing things thinking they have to keep up. Once you start hitting all those big plays, do you feel that way a little bit? It can take somebody out of their rhythm and what they want to do, their game plan?
That's what I was going to say. Mario talked about halftime adjustments, and I think one of the adjustments we made was going into some zone. The bottom line is our team cannot hold up playing man for 4 quarters. That's just not going to work. And if we don't start mixing up or at least window dressing when we're in man, when we're in zone, it's going to be bad for us. Teams have to adjust to how good our offense is. That's why they're running fake punts. That's why they're going for it on fourth down. That's why they're bringing their A game. Because they know to beat this Miami team, you may have to score 60.
Well, first and foremost, what I'd like to say is that everybody has good players. You know, I think you see it in college football. I don't know how many more teams got knocked off this weekend, but everybody has really good players. And so, like, your sense of urgency, your ability to just stay focused and get after it, like, it's at a premium, man. You know, and I think people recognize that we do have a really good offense. You're going to see those squib kicks. You're going to see the pooch kick. We've seen some type of fake or an attempt at a fake every week, and sometimes you don't because we're in an alignment that diffuses it. But we got to keep putting pressure on people to play out of character because it allows us to play to the strength of our team, our defensive line, our front seven, and our offensive line.
Coach, all right, let's get into a couple of guys that are putting up record numbers and can't talk enough because everybody, everywhere I go, wants to know more about Cam Ward, and nobody knows more than you do about him. 25 of 41, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, 29 touchdowns. We still got a lot of games left. What's been your take? Just made some absolutely gorgeous deep throws again.
The take is that he's not very satisfied with the performance. Felt like we left a lot of meat on the bone. We had a good amount of drops. We could tighten up protections. We could do a lot. You know, we could have added another 100, maybe 40 yards of offense that we didn't get to. So we got to go get better. And that's his attitude, and that's the way we need it to be. So we're going to have a great week of practice.
Well, Cam Ward, over or under? Over or under? 29 touchdowns right now. 3 games left. Possibly the AFC Championship. Possibly the college football playoffs. Over or under Cam Ward, 45 touchdowns on the season? Let me know in the comments. But, I mean, what more is there to say about Cam? I mean, he showed us, right? I mean, he hasn't lied to us. He hasn't faked the funk. He hasn't, you know, and even when a lot of praise is being shielded to him, he's saying the right things, doing the right things, shielding it to everything else. So, I mean, every day we get on this microphone, every week we say how good he is. And I guess this week was a little bit different because last week he didn't have the greatest game. So you wanted to come into this game and see what he would respond. And he responded with 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. And as Mario Cristobal said, could have had a lot more.
I want to ask you about Xavier Restrepo. Just it's incredible. They know it's coming. His route running, his ability. Heck, he had a couple of moves on some other potential huge plays that he got open, and as you said, they missed him. But can you talk about, when you start talking about all-time records for receiving yards and catches, and there's Xavier Restrepo, you've had a chance now to see him for a few years.
Yeah, tremendous badge of honor. And it's all about the work with him. I mean, every single day that guy buckles up and he gets after it, and just a great example for the way you should approach it. You know, you just work, man. You work through tough seasons. You work through personnel deficiencies. You just keep going. And if you're with the right people, you trust it's going to work out. And he did. You know, he stuck with it. And on the other side of it, he's come out, you know, doing great things. And he still has a lot. Still has a lot more to prove to do. And a guy that has really improved in all the other things in his game that people don't mention. His perimeter blocking, man. I mean, that's about as important as anything, you know. So overall, just blessed to have guys like him and Cam Ward on this team.
Yeah,
I mean, it just shows you, right? I mean, I don't know what Xavier's draft grade was last year, but I really feel like now with NIL, with the ability to brand yourself at the University of Miami, I'm just seeing more reasons that if you are a good player and you know you're not going first round, because if you're not going first round, you could be second, third, fourth. Just come back to school for another year. Just come back to school for another year. Cam Ward came back to school, was a great decision for him. Xavier Restrepo came back to school, was a great decision for him.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. So I got to ask you, offensive line, because you see it for people who didn't see the game, we'll see the highlights and see Cam with running around with some time back there. How overall were you happy with the way the guys in the front played?
Yeah, they played a great game. I mean, we know that the defense we were facing, they're a really good defense, and there is a feast or famine approach to it where they're bringing, it looks like spaghetti, man, like Star Wars. It comes from all over the place. If you're identified and you block it up, you're going to have a big day, and that's what ended up happening. We had it's a shame we had a chance there at the end to get another score, and we just I know Cam's kicking himself in the butt a little bit, but just overall, all the other parts of the execution, especially up front, man, it was on point and provided a great day for the rest of the guys.
Coach,
and shout out to the offensive line because they had a great day. But I think that we know with Alex Mirabal and Mario, we know what we're going to get with our offensive line. I am really impressed with our running backs, tight ends, and wide receiver blocking. I mean, when we put Martinez and Arroyo in the backfield, which is a great wrinkle by Shannon Dawson, I'm seeing Martinez blocking like he a tight end. Our running backs do a great job. I know we love to talk about how physical they are. We love to talk about how fast they are. But our running backs, they be blocking their asses off. And so does our tight ends. So does our wide receivers. Offensive line continue to do a great job. But that's something that I think cannot go over notice, or that we shouldn't overlook it.
we're seeing Markel Bell and Jalen Rivers. Markel, who obviously you love the way his growth, a big son of a gun that he is at left tackle, and Jalen Rivers sliding in some, playing both. What are you going to say when the pros come in and ask you about Jalen Rivers? Hey, because, everybody wants, is he a better guard or tackle? What are your thoughts now you've had a chance to watch him for a few years?
Well, I think the best part about what we do with the pros is the pros, they come in here, they have access to practice. So I really don't need to say much. They have access to their GPSs, to practice film in-house. They can't take it out of here, of course, to see certain drills. And then game film. So, it's a great thing because if you're busting your butt here, if you're working really hard and your game film matches it, the pros are going to love you. And, they love our offensive line. They love the way they're pushed, they're grinded on, the way they work. So, and then those two guys make us massive up front. They really do, and they can move their feet really well. And they have to, because this week we play against one of the better fronts and one of the more disruptive and pass rush fronts that we're going to see all season.
Coach, flipping over the other side of the ball, the pass rush had some problems, and the pass coverage. What did you see early on before making some adjustments? What?
He's probably going to say miscommunication, missed tackles, and the quarterback got the ball out very quickly.
What's the biggest problem? Are they mental or just physical issues? What do you see?
Combination. I mean, I think in terms of the pass rush, they're a ball-out-now operation. It's quick game, a little bit of, the old West Coast quick five ball out. Even the shots are out quick, so you gotta affect the quarterback. You're not always going to get there. So I don't think the sack total really defines or really portrays the true picture of it. I think they won some matchups. They won on some deep balls. We have one inexcusable play. It falls on everybody, coaching and players, where there's 10 men on the field. And then there's a great turnaround. There's a great response. There's a great adjustment where we started the game forcing 3 and outs and getting a turnover. And then we ended the game with, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successive possessions where it's 3 and out,
right.
2 and an interception, 3 and out, 4 and out. So I think we found something there in the second part of the game that allowed us to play fast and allowed us to play free. So, yeah, there's some things that have to be cleaned up. And again, look, there are things that we can control. And that's what we have to focus on. And sometimes it's covered, sometimes it's technique, sometimes it's up front. and we got to bring it all together, and we got to continue playing as a team because we play very good complementary football, and there's no blame game over here.
No.
Okay, he said a lot there. He said they found something in the second half. Now, I'm wondering, I think he means, okay, my mom was wondering there a little bit. Okay. I think he means they found something in the second half of the Duke game. Or did he mean they found something that they're going to continue to use throughout the season? How did y'all take that comment by him? But I am guilty of when this team gives up 3 straight scoring drives, I'm just like, the team sucks. The defense sucks. I'm guilty of that. But Mario makes a good point. This team ended up getting stop after stop after stop. So you got to give them credit. Because, yeah, they may have started rough, but they found something that ended up helping them out.
Oh, no. Listen, second half was equally good on both sides of the ball. After the first touchdown, the second half, you guys really got after it with adjustments. And O.J. Frederick, what a nice-looking interception. How did he play overall besides the great play and also had a nice return with it?
All year long, Joe, that guy's been incredible. You should see his work ethic as well. I mean, him and his dad could probably go down the street and, be bodybuilders. These guys just grind. They're always working on their craft. And the guys, the difference between him and a lot of freshmen that come in at that position is the guy's just very professional, his approach. Every single day is like attention to detail to the max and then applying it in practice. So it's no surprise because we saw him, we had him in camp, we saw him play. And watching the impact he's had on the team. He's been as impactful as any player we've had on the team, quite honestly.
I have been saying that, O.J. Frederick, true freshman. He's playing good. He's playing good for a freshman. But now I'm starting to ask myself, is he playing like one of the best corners in the ACC? Because he's definitely playing... And he's definitely been the most consistent on our Miami team. But then I wonder, does he have a chance to make the all-freshman and the all-conference? And all-American? I don't want to get too crazy. But the kid is playing some great football. And I think, last week he could have had 2 interceptions. His technique is playing good. And look, Duke came out. I'm going to tell y'all what Duke did. Duke came out and looked at the paper and they said, he's a true freshman. Let's throw at him. And they threw at him several times and nothing happened. And then they said, okay, we got to go up against Jadis Richards. And then they had a couple successful runs, Like I said, I don't think this team is built to hold up in man, but I have been very impressed by OJ. And when you heard people talking about him, in the offseason, I'm like, y'all are just trying to hype us up. Me, I'm a believe. I got to believe it. I got to see it to believe it type of guy. So when the OJ hype started in the offseason, I was like, huh? And then the first game, the second game, he has consistently gotten better. So congrats to OJ, man. And I hope he continues to get better.
Coach, winning the turnover battle. A lot of people were wondering how that was going to go, and I thought that was a huge number, man. Manny's been able to get a lot of takeaways defensively, and you guys win that battle 4-2. How important was that when you were talking to the team last week?
Yeah, it was a huge point of emphasis all week. They led the country in forcing turnovers. Our one turnover was that crossfield crazy throw, which, we don't want to do, but we didn't put the ball on the ground. We didn't fumble it. And we, in the passing game, I thought we were really precise. I thought, Cam does what he does. He's very accurate. He's very methodical. His thought process and where he goes with the football and the way he uses and changes protection, we were spot on, man.
Yeah, no, listen,
to me, it feels like that man Cam is like a robot. And he's just scouting everything out. And he's going to make some good plays. and he may make some off throws, but in the second half, that's when it's like data complete. We know the defense, and then it's the Cam Ward show in the second half. The kid's good.
He's something else. By the way, speaking of Cam Ward, the Heisman hype video, what'd you think? Did you get a chance to see it? And Coach, I know you're about winning games and stuff, but boy, everybody, every weekend nationally, locally, everybody's talking about, hey, what do you think about his chances in the Heisman Trophy? What'd you think of the video to start with?
Well, I think our media and creative team is off the charts. I mean, those guys, they those guys are talented. And I think when you come to Miami, you're entering a stage and a spotlight that this comes with it. And I think our people have really not only embraced it, they've attacked that because his performances merit that. He deserves that. And in no way, shape, or form does he or the team allow it to be a distraction. So that's a full throttle approach and campaign for the right reasons. It's not based on fluff and smoke and mirrors. It's based on reality and performance. And the best part about it, Cam will take W's all day over any personal accolade or award.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, he's showing us that. And I love the Heisman video. But I feel like Cam Ward and the work he's putting in, and then the backing of the creative team, great job by the creative team, they're letting players know, like, hey, if you come to Miami, you put in that work and you do what you do on the field, then the brand stuff, the off-the-field stuff, the creativity stuff is going to be there to back it up. But like Mario said, we're not hyping something that could be. We want to hype something that's putting in the work. Cam is putting in the work, getting the results, so he gets to get hyped up, and he gets to get the nice videos, and our creative team doing a wonderful job. And, hey, if you're a quarterback out there or you're a player out there in a portal and you want to go to a brand that, if you perform on the field, will also put you off the field in good positions to succeed in life, do you know where to come? Come to the U.
I think we saw that a couple weeks ago. That's a great point. So I got to ask you, so Cam makes one or two of those throws that you go, holy smokes, there's guys at the next level can't make those plays, and he thinks, obviously, the way he plays, his confidence off the chart. How hard knowing, I mean, he does things other quarterbacks don't even try in college football, and sometimes they become the most ridiculous plays you've ever seen. They're so good. As a head coach watching that, how hard is it knowing, well, I don't know if we should be trying that? Do you stay away from that stuff and just you've seen it so you believe in it now?
No, we watch him in practice. That guy has the trust of the entire organization. I mean, what he does in the game is what he does in practice. And he's in here early, Joe, every single day, man. And the guy's really hungry, and he's really driven, and he's really team-oriented. That's the biggest thing. I mean, you got to realize a large collection of the guys on our team, a year ago, they've been 5-7, 7-5. They've been really battling hard to put together and be part of a program that could be 1-0 on a weekly basis. And that's the only focus. So, no, man, that guy has our trust the entire way.
I often wonder, what was it like when we got Cam Ward? Like behind the scenes, like Xavier Restrepo, Isaiah Horton, Mark Fletcher. I remember Jaden Davis telling the story when he transferred from Oklahoma, how he knew Cam Kitchings was the leader because he called a player-only meeting and everybody was there. So we lose that Cam and we get another Cam, and we hear all these stories, and I just wonder what it was like, because I know it was different. I know it was different than our last quarterback. And I know, like Mario said, this team has been losing. So I bet you they was like, I can't even believe we got a leader like this. And all that hard work and extra work and getting there early, we're 9-0. It's starting to pay off. And I'm hoping what Cam and Xavier and Jalen, what these guys are doing, will trickle down and keep trickling down and keep trickling down and keep trickling down. It's the standard.
Hey, Coach, while that's going on, I know we were all sprinting back to watch those games and see what was going on. Louisville goes in and beats up Clemson. Now, that was no, last-second long field goal, and SMU was all over Pitt as well. Do you get a chance, or do you follow them at all, or do you – I know you're zoned in on the next game, but you check in on those things at all?
Sometimes, I really jump on the next opponent right away. Got that thing on the computer, so on the trooper car on the way home, I'm already on it, So, and you try to watch you try to take 10 games zipped up in a file where you want to watch certain plays that you have your analyst put together as it relates to things that maybe might be useful to us, that have some type of scheme overlap with us on all phases. So it's like you like the library and access you have allows you to really expand and evolve with your systems, and sometimes it incorporates that, sometimes it doesn't. But if it's not on our schedule, Joe, I don't mess with it.
These coaches these days, y'all got it easy. You just get in your car and you can start watching the game right away. They got it on the little 10 video zip file. The old school coaches, they had to go get the little rolling thing out, the little TV on top, prop the video in, take the video out, fast forward, rewind. Golly. Yeah, they was really grinding back in the day, but I love to hear little things like that. I don't know. I just love to hear how Mario says he goes right into the next opponent, and the analysts, who shout out to them because, the GAs and stuff, they already got the cut up of all the stuff, and he starts to watch that right away because that's stuff that I always just randomly wonder about, and that's crazy.
Yeah. So Coach, I got to ask you, what's the biggest thing? Here we are. You're 9-0, one of the top teams in the country. You know what's ahead. Everybody's already taken a look at everything. I know you're zoned in on one game, but as you look at your team and go back to work today for this Georgia Tech game on the road at 12 o'clock, what's the biggest thing for you? Is there anything changed this week that you want to clean up? Do you look at different players, or what do you do?
Well, I think the first part is we see ourselves as 1-0 for the week, and that's been put to bed. And now we're looking at the other 1-0, the one coming up. And I think we have to acknowledge that we are an imperfect team with some awesome people and incredible competitors that find a way to be 1-0. And this part of the season is it's like the season of urgency. Does that make sense, Joe? It's the fourth quarter of the season, and I think this is where teams it's not about maintaining your edge. You got to sharpen your edge. Your sense of urgency and it starts with the staff. It's got to be hair on fire, bringing it and turning up the juice, because the room for improvement and opportunity for improvement, it's in so many areas. And if you can keep doing that, man, you're gonna find your way to 1-0, and that's the only thing that matters. You can sleep in the off season, man. Let's just focus on 1-0, on doing the best by our players, our organization, our community, and fans, and let's go to work.
Yeah.
Mario is telling the staff, come here. We're 9-0. These opportunities don't come. They don't come a lot, but we are here, 9-0. Don't leave anything left in the tank. Kiss your kids, kiss your wife, tell them you love them, but it's time to go into overdrive and finish this season out strong and then enter the postseason on fire, because what I think we're going to see is there's going to be a team that towards the end of the year puts it together. That's the team that's going to make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say
Commercial.
With low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands.
Neural processor. Work off the grid with all-day battery. Or bring your the fastest, most intelligent Windows PCs ever. Battery life varies with usage and settings.
To be 9-0 here right now, everybody's breaking everything, has got an opinion, and you guys, is it hard to keep your young players from not getting caught up in social media noise or phone calls or whatever, or texting, and not going, dude, you got this and you got that, no problem, and keep them zoned in that this is not going to be easy the rest of the way?
I think you're always alert to it. Our leadership council, the older guys, do a great job with it because, remember, freshmen walked into a team that's gone 1-0 every week. But the guys that have been here or the guys that transfer here, they didn't. So they've been through it. There's no born on third base mentality around here. And I think it's important that we understand that every single day, whether you liked it or not, every single day you're fighting for their minds. Because the moment they leave here, it is social media. It is all the other stuff. And all we preach is, dude, stay mad. Stay freaking mad. Use that positive anger because that positive anger burns clean, man, and it's great energy. So we stay focused on that.
Before I let you go on, Coach, I've kept you longer, and I know you got busy stuff going on here. The recruiting side of this thing, I'm always curious. We see all the names. We're getting ready for the high school football playoffs and stuff. How have things gone as far as getting players to games? I know you still got some more home games here, but the recruiting overall for going forward?
Strong. We have built this program from the inside out. We have layered it the right way. We're sitting on our 2 best classes in history that are here in the program, and this one coming up might be better than all of them. We have, we're on full throttle attack, brother. I mean, that ain't never going to happen. Competition is a premium.
I did know that.
You can draw it up all you want to. At the end of the day, it's who are the dudes on the field that can get it done.
Yeah. No. Hey, you know what they always say? I think you're the first one to tell me you're a lot better coach when you got really good players. No, I got you. Hey,
no doubt.
Coach, thank you. Mario, I really appreciate you spending some extra time. Good stuff. Congratulations on the win, 9-0. Thanks.
Appreciate you, Joe. Have a great day. Go Canes.
Did you hear what the man said? Did y'all hear what the man said? He said, we're 9-0, and we're sitting on 2 of the best classes that we've had, and we may bring in the 3rd one that's better than the last 2. Oh, Lord, talk to him now. Because that is what we call program building, talent acquisition, something that those guys in Tallahassee don't know nothing about. 1-8. Oh, because they didn't build their program from the bottom up, right? They didn't do that. They tried to shortcut through the transfer portal, and they thought that they were going to be able to hit on the transfer portal every time, but no. You got to have the foundation built. Mario has stacked a couple classes. Then you say, oh, I think this house would look better with this type of window. Let's go to the transfer portal and get that type of window. I think this house would look better with this type of roof. Okay, we can put this roof here. But if you take away everything, we still got our strong foundation. The Federics, the Riley Williams, the Elijah Lofton, the Francis Bell. We still got Lyle. Zaquan Patterson, we still got a foundation. Justin Scott, dropping like it's hot. The Washington brothers, oh my goodness. We still got young players that are getting better and developing. And then we're still working on this class, which I did hear was another big weekend for visitors, more on the 2026 side. The Florida State game had a lot of 2025 visitors. Recruiting, something I'm never worried about with Mario Cristobal. I appreciate you guys. I'm out. Peace.